I'd like to call the meeting of Tuesday, September, now February 20th, 2024 to order. Mr. Adams?
Mr. Mason?
Yes.
Mr. Hofer?
Here.
Mr. Furlong?
Here.
Ms. Terry?
Here.
Mrs. Frola?
Here. Okay, please stand for the pledge.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Okay, at this time, Mrs. Warner, do you want to introduce the your students of the month? Yep. Okay, she's here.
Good evening. So I am going to introduce the students of the month for both December and January, since we have short weeks or days that we spend in school during those months. We combine them. We're going to start with Serenity Valier. Will you come on up here, please? This is what was written about Serenity. Serenity has a positive energy each and every day. She comes to class with a smile, always prepared and ready to work. She asks clarifying questions and is always on task. Because of these qualities, she's a successful student and a pleasure to have in class each day. And you were nominated by Mrs. Lori Smith, your math teacher. So congratulations. And you're going to get a copy of what is displayed in the school at the current moment as you come into door A, and then that will move down by the community center. And then I also have a certificate for you. Congratulations. Thank you. Then we have our junior high student. Could I have Bryn Ingham come to the podium, please? And this is what was written about Bryn. I am nominating Bryn Ingham for Student of the Month. Bryn is a 7th grader in my advanced English language arts class. She takes her learning very seriously and makes it a priority. Bryn comes to class every day prepared and ready to learn. She also is very helpful in the class. She is always willing to help others out and volunteer. Bryn has a great sense of humor and is well liked by her peers. I think she is a great candidate for Student of the Month. And you were nominated by Mrs. Hartung. Congratulations to you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
All right, what did you say?
I got it.
All right, you got it.
All right.
Mr. Furlong.
So we had one of them show up today. So Shyla, if you could come up here real quick. Shyla's in the pre-nursing program at Portage Lakes Career Center. I see her study quite often, and sometimes it's from my own kitchen, right? This is true with my daughter, which is great. She's also on the golf team. I think her coach is right here too. I'm sure he can attest to her hard work all the time. She does a great job in track and field, right? Did you decide yet? And I heard that she might come back to basketball next year too, which is a little glimmer of hope there, but that's good. But she does a great job. I know she works really hard every day, and give her a round of applause. Real quick, the other ones from this year from Portage Lakes were Jeffrey Buxar. I know they call him Joffrey. I think that's the joke. They always call him Joffrey for some reason, right? But he's also he's in the building trades program, and he's on the bowling team and track and field team too. Grace Frint, who's a senior, she's in the medical technology. She's also in National Honor Society, 4-H. She raises pigs, all kinds of stuff, so you can catch her at the fair. But she also plays basketball, runs cross country, and track too, which is great. And the other gentleman, just from this last month, is Noah Shackelford. He's in the plumbing and pipe fitting group. And they shared something really cool about him. They asked him, if you were stranded on a deserted island, what would you take with you? And I was like, all right, I got to be ready for this. He said, definitely a comedian, because I'm going to need some comic relief from this. So I thought that was pretty cool. But they are Spartans too, because they are part of Portage Lakes Career Center. So just wanted to bring them to the light. Thank you.
Number 6, the 2024 OSBA Service Award. Our own Mr. Dave Hofer. Would you like to?
I would. So first, the service award is, the way that you get the service award is that you get points that are accrued for service from either your local school boards, your district, your region, or state leadership, including serving on OSBA committees or in local board office and committees. You need to score 150 points over a 3-year period, and they are very stingy on the points. It's like 5 points here, 3 points there, so that's a lot of committees and everything to get 150. And I'd like to read the letter that we had received from OSBA. It says, on behalf of the officers, trustees, and staff of the Ohio School Boards Association, I would like to commend you on becoming a recipient of the 2024 OSBA Service Award. The Service Award is a distinct award and is part of our STAR Awards program, Service, Training, Aptitude, and Recognition. Congratulations. Your efforts reflect a true commitment towards public education and the importance you attach to your role as a school board member. Thank you for your dedication. The OSBA Service Award is presented to a very select group of more than 3,400 board members in Ohio. Only 36 will receive the honor in 2024. And OSBA would like to officially recognize your achievement at your regional spring conference, which will be held on March 20th from 5 to 8:30 in Akron and March 25th from 5 to 8:30 in Warren. So we hope that your family, fellow board members, and friends can attend to see you and others from your region receive that honor. So congratulations, and thank you again for your ongoing support for OSBA. So thank you, Dave, for everything that you do on behalf of not only our school board, but OSBA as well.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Dave. You want to say anything? You want to tell us how many nights you're out?
A lot of sleepless nights. It's funny, I'll just tie this in. There's, Chris, you'll know this, that they just passed the biennial budget in 2 years around, so they're going to start with information in 2025. I'll read a little bit, and when it comes to board informal, and then I want to talk to you and Cynthia on a plan moving forward. Personally, I'm tired that our district always ends up on the short end of the stick when it comes to valuation and money that we get from the state. Our district residents pay more than their fair share. I don't have a problem with 50-50. I have a problem with 61.4 versus 38. And I think I've come up with a plan that I want to make sure that Columbus knows that Akron Springfield is going to be a voice to be reckoned with. And that will take not only us here, because my letter will not make a whole lot of impact. If I get 5 board members, it might open an eye. But if I can get SLAC and custodians and district residents to write letters, and I'll talk with you more about that. I think I would like to put Akron Springfield right in the center of the State House.
Thank you, David. All positive plans are
Yeah.
welcome, that's for sure. Okay, at
Thank
this
you.
point, board member informal. I don't have anything at this point. Miranda, you want to? Oh, you don't want to go next? All right, I'm going to start down there. Parker?
With the newbie.
Just continued, just keep asking for your guys' patience and your trust so that I may make the best decisions possible. Just understand that, and thank you.
For me, if you guys get a chance this weekend, go to the Sparkle Spectacular. If you guys have never been there, that is like one of the coolest events put on by Springfield. So you guys should check it out.
As I just mentioned, the Joint Committee on Property Tax Review and Reform met for the second time and is continuing its mission of exploring Ohio's property tax system and rising property values. A large piece of the discussion centered on how more and more exemptions are causing a shift on who pays in the local levies. The committee plans to hold additional hearings in the coming weeks to explore other topics, The deadline for the committee to submit recommendations to the General Assembly is December 31st, 2024. So we have some time, but I think we can make some plans. These recommendations are expected to inform the next biennial budget, which will be deliberated in early 2025. House Bill 387 will address would address dissolving existing academic stress commissions, repeal the law that creates new commissions, and declare an emergency. That really ties in with Cleveland and Youngstown, if you follow that. House Bill 386, this is interesting, would phase out the state income tax on non-business income over 6 years and repeal the commercial activity tax after 2029. All things we have to stay on our radar. House Primary and Subcommittee on Education sponsored testimony for Senate Bill 168. 3 bullet points on that. I'll share: allowing school districts to develop and use their own framework for teacher evaluations instead of using framework developed by the State Board of Education. I thought that was rather interesting. Clarifying that a school district is not required to hold separate individual public hearing on a proposed school calendar, but that calendar may be addressed as part of another public hearing or meeting. Eliminating seniority as a preference when making reductions in non-teaching staff positions in a RIF situation. That's it for now, but the State House is starting to turn its wheels, and I'll get with you two and
Thank you, David.
think where we go from here. Thank you.
Any questions on anything he said?
I would like to say congratulations to you kids for your meritorious marks. Those things, believe it or not, you can put down on a resume, and they will help you in life. So congratulations for that.
Okay, approval of minutes. It is recommended that the board approve the minutes of the organizational and regular meetings of January 9, 2024, and the special meetings of February 8 and 13, 2024, and those exhibits have been posted.
Motion that.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that this motion be approved. Mr. Adams?
Mrs. Frola,
Yes.
Ms. Terry,
Yes.
Mr. Hofer,
Yes?
Mr. Furlong,
Yes.
Mr. Mason.
Yes.
Okay, motion passed. At this point, there's time allotted for citizens' comments on agenda items, and we ask that you give your name, address, and your comments within the 5-minute duration. Are there any citizens' comments? Seeing none, then we'll move to number 10, payment of bills. These are monthly. Yeah.
If you guys want to leave, you don't have to stay for the whole meeting if you don't want to. So if anybody who got an award that wants...
They're welcome to stay.
Oh, they can stay if they want to. You can stay if you want to. I'm not kicking you out. But if you want to leave, you can leave too. We won't be offended.
Not at all.
Not at all.
They stayed longer than most already.
Yes, you have stayed longer than most, so...
And Serenity? Serenity. My maiden name was Cipollone, and so I tried to make sure I asked you guys. I lived with those names.
Thank you.
All right.
Okay. I didn't want them to be sitting there like...
Well, they might have been interested.
They might have been.
Or thought we have refreshments. All right, number 10, payment of bills monthly. It is recommended that the board approve payment of bills for, the month pending audit.
So moved.
Moved in second that that the board approve this.
Ms. Terry,
Yes.
Mr. Hofer,
Yes.
Mr. Furlong,
Yes.
Mr. Mason,
Yes.
Mrs. Frola.
Yes. Motion passed. Acceptance of financial reports. It is recommended that the board accept the financial reports from the treasurer for January 2024, and these were and are Exhibit 3, 4, and 5 on the agenda.
Motion.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and second that we vote on this.
Mr. Mason,
Yes.
Ms. Terry,
Yes.
Mrs. Frola,
Yes,
Mr. Hofer,
Yes.
Mr. Furlong.
Yes.
motion passed. Next, we have items of personnel. It is recommended that the board accept or approve the following personnel items. We have resignation, accept the resignation of classified employee Rachel Frame, effective December 19, 2023. 12.2, resignation of certified employee Michael Leonhardt, effective the end of workday February 5, 2024. 12.3, accept the resignation of classified employee Michelle Simber, effective July 1, 2024. Employment. Employee Barbara Peasley as a 3-hour educational assistant at Spring Hill Elementary per the negotiated agreement pending proper licensure and pre-employment screening effective January 22nd, 2024. Employee Carol Simmons as a 3-hour educational assistant at Spring Hill Elementary per the negotiated agreement pending proper licensure and pre-employment screening effective January 8, 2024. Reassign classified employee Cassie Wheatley as a 1.75-hour, 2 times a week custodian at the Springfield Transportation Depot per the negotiated agreement pending proper licensure, and this would be effective January 23, 24, and this is in addition to her current position. Employ Robert Lenninger as on an as-needed basis as a substitute technician at the rate of 25.75 cents per hour. And reading camp instructors, employ Dina Scrimo and Wendy Bluey as reading camp instructors for 3 weeks for a maximum of 6 hours per week, paid through grant funds. Non-sport supplemental contracts. And this first one is a band booster funded contract. Approve the following non-sport supplemental contract for the 23-24 school year per the negotiated agreement pending proper licensure and pre-employment screening. This position is posted, awarded, and paid once the funds have been received from the band boosters. And the position will be for Joey Morrison as a percussion instructor. The next item is athletic supplemental contracts, and approve the following supplemental contracts for the 23-24 school year per the negotiated agreement pending proper licensure and pre-employment screening. Michael Canavan, a varsity baseball head coach. Randy Goldinger, varsity assistant coach. Nathaniel Canavan, varsity assistant baseball coach. Aaron A.J. Smith, varsity baseball coach. Stephen Cole, junior varsity baseball coach. Jody Burgess, varsity track head coach. Kevin Nash, varsity track assistant coach. Tim Burns, varsity track assistant coach. Aaron Skaggs, junior high track coach. Shane Curry, varsity head softball coach. Paula Murphy, varsity assistant softball coach. Kendra Cox, junior varsity softball coach for the red team. And approve the following as volunteer coaches for the 23-24 school year, pending proper licensure and pre-employment screening. For baseball, Patrick Ternosky. For baseball, volunteer Andrew Hanna. Volunteer softball coach Jason Holmes. That's all.
Motion. Second.
Just a couple things. Michael Leonhardt, he was hired with us back in the 12-13 school year as a tutor in the high school. And in 13-14, he was brought over to Schropp as an intervention specialist. And then that's where he remained until his time with us. We wish Michael other luck in his newer endeavors. Shelley Simber, she started her career in Springfield back in 97, 98 as a monitor, and then in 98, 99, she moved to the high school, or no, she moved to a teaching assistant position in a special education classroom. And then in 2015, 2016, she became a high school secretary. And then in 2016, 2017, she moved over to the admit building and became the People Services Secretary until then. So we will be posting for that position soon. The 12.8, the reading camp instructors. This year is something new that we're doing for our kiddos that did not pass the third grade reading test or is not following the third grade reading guarantee. We are offering tutoring opportunities after school for 3 weeks to give them some intense individual or small group teaching. So hopefully this will help improve their scores. And we're going to, this is something we're going to continue doing, and we're going to just prolong, make it much longer in the upcoming years for
So
it.
is that during the academic school year, or is that a summer program?
It's happening right now, and it's after school. So it was after we had gotten the third grade test that the kids took in October, and before the test that they have to take in April.
Thank you.
So, and then, but with that question, another program that I'd like to get started is a tutoring program in the summer for the kids who did not pass the test in the spring, and give them an intense tutoring so that we can give them the test again in the fall, in the summer.
We're already working on that one.
Thank you. So yeah, we're already working on that one.
All right, thank
So
you.
yes, so some just different things for our kids that
That's,
that we can offer them.
obviously, that's good.
Yes.
So we've had are we ready to vote, I think?
Yep.
Mr. Adams?
Mrs. Frola?
Yes.
Ms. Terry?
Yes.
Mr. Furlong?
Yes.
Mr. Mason?
Yes.
Mr. Hofer?
Yes.
Motion passed, and I would just like to say that thank you to all these people that are taking on the coaching and the extra programs and so forth. I know that, I know there is a payment or a contract, I know that, but I also know it's nothing compared to the time that you put in and the teachers put in. So I just want to say thank you. All right, number 13, resolution. Resolved that the board reappoints Shelley Monachino as a superintendent of the Springfield local schools for the 5-year period beginning August 1st, 2025 and ending July 31st, 2030, and authorizes and directs the board president and treasurer to execute a contract of employment for such time on behalf of the Board of Education with an annual salary rate of $115,000 and upon such other terms as are agreed upon. I'll comment after we get the motion on the floor.
I'll make a motion.
Second.
Okay, as we go into this, I know that I've had questions of you know, like, where's the contract? There is no contract because we are being authored. The board is saying to do this. This is what this is. It's an instruction. The contract still needs to be negotiated, and the school attorney will be involved in that too. And upon a decision on contract, the contract will appear on a later board agenda and as an exhibit. So it's going to be an exhibit that will be able to be viewed. And I don't know if she wants me to say this or not, but I'm going to. That salary that is listed there. It's what she was hired at. That's what it will be for, you know, her 3-year term. There's been no increase to that, and and in 2025, the contract is negotiated at that level. Will begin, or it'll stay there. You want to tell them why?
Because I just think it's very important that I'd really like to really work financially to keep the district going, and I think that's a fair compensation, so I did not ask for a raise at all for the contract.
I just thought, I know we don't usually give narrative on this, but I've had enough questions and comments about it that I just wanted it to be clear what we're doing here. We are not approving a contract tonight. Okay, Mr. Adams?
Mrs. Frola?
Yes?
Ms. Terry? Yes. Mr. Mason?
Yes.
Mr. Furlong?
Yes.
Mr. Hofer?
Yes.
Okay, motion passed. All right, going to item 14, the Ohio Athletic Association membership. It is recommended that the board approve a resolution for membership of Springfield High School and Junior High in the Ohio High School Athletic Association for the 24-25 school year. And again, that is an exhibit, and this is something that we need to rejoin every year.
So moved.
I'm sorry.
That's okay, you're fine.
Second.
All right, it's been moved and second. Mr. Adams?
Mr. Mason?
Yes.
Mr. Furlong?
Yes.
Mr. Hofer?
Yes.
Ms. Terry? Yes. Mrs. Frola?
Yes. And now, College Credit Plus Memorandum of Understanding, one of my all-time favorite programs. This one is with Kent State University. It is recommended that the board approve a memorandum of understanding with Kent State University for the College Credit Plus program for the 24-25 school year. And am I correct? This is just one of many institutions that we will
Yes.
approve membership
Yes.
or for the kids to take courses.
So moved.
It's been moved in second that this motion be voted on.
Ms. Terry? Yes. Mrs. Frola?
Yes.
Mr. Hofer?
Yes.
Mr. Mason?
Yes.
Mr. Furlong?
Yes.
Okay, the motion's passed. At this point, Mr. Adams, it's your floor. It's recommended that, well, you want to give,
Copies. Does anybody else want a copy of the 5-year in the notes? If you, I don't have enough, email me, okay? And I can send it to you, but I haven't combined in the file, all right? You put it back here?
you can give mine. I'll get one. Chris, we're going to give you some of ours because we know where you are. We'll get more. Here. Here.
Need another one? Mrs. Johnson.
Yeah, it's up here. Want to raise your hands? Anybody else? Okay.
What's that? I guess I'll just keep my copy. Yeah. You didn't grab it from me.
Good evening, everybody. Typically, you produce 2 5-year forecasts in a year, one in May and one in October. But since we're with the Oversight Commission, and since there has been a significant change in certain areas of the forecast, we felt that it was best to initiate this forecast along with a revised financial recovery plan with the state. So I want to go over certain things, and then I'm going to talk about the meeting that I implore you guys to come, because there has been some, like I said, some events that are very dear to our hearts and your hearts, and there's been some events that are so dear to your hearts. The biggest one, as we all know, the state of Ohio changed the way they value people's homes. In Summit County was one of them that was hit in 2024. It resulted in an increase to Springfield in the amount of $2.2 million per year. 1.1 million will happen in 24 because of the way they collect. They're collecting now. I'm sure a lot of you have opened up your tax bill and seen the implications. And then next year, they're going to have 2 cycles, one in August and again the other one in February. So the first year when it changes, you only get half, and then moving forward. This line right here is the line that Dave talks about. We're not getting any help from the state of Ohio at all. It's kind of sad. If you want to move it down a little bit. Dustin. Obviously, these 2 lines is what runs our districts. That is salaries and benefits for our fine employees. As you can see, it represents $18.6 million of a $23 million budget. We've been doing very well in this category. Moving forward, we plan on continuing to do well. The most important line in the 5-year forecast that I always tell people to look at is, and this is important, a little bit farther, Dustin, is our cash. As we all know, cash is king.
And you can hear that?
Can you hear? A little bit farther, Dustin. We anticipate ending the year with 4.2 million, 5.8 million, 4.1 million, through 26, and then you see the negatives right here. And the negatives are here for a specific reason. If you want to go down a little farther, there's 2 things that are going to occur. One, the levy that we put on is going away. We're not going to put that 3.77 mil levy on the ballot in the foreseeable future. What's the point, right? We got the valuation increase. So, what we do though have to pass, and what we have to concentrate, is the lifeblood of our district. These are our renewals. They don't increase the taxes any, but they represent $6.2 million in revenue. Renewals go away, we go away. I can just say it bluntly. Is that, fortunately, our taxpayers has always shown that they value and they pass our renewals. What does that do to us if we pass the renewals in November of 24? What that tells you is you see a forecast you haven't seen in a long time in Springfield. You have a forecast that shows positive cash through 2028. Now, what's that going to happen? What's that mean? Well, it means on March 4th, we're going to have a finance committee. And I think it's very, very important for people to attend, because there's going to be things that are going to be laid out. Now, Mike, you can't do really anything until we get the blessing from the Oversight Commission. But with a forecast like this, we're going to get a blessing from them. So what are we going to do? What we're going to do is we're going to enhance the educational needs and services for our pre-K through 12. And it's important to come. These things are going to be very helpful. It's been a long time since we could add additional programs and add all kinds of stuff. So we don't get a lot of attendance here, but this one's a big one. I think our teachers should attend, our support staff should attend, and our community should attend, because we made a promise that if the levy passed, there were certain things that were going to happen. Well, this valuation that occurred in the state was like a levy. So therefore, we feel that it's the best thing to do is to bring we had promises that were made. We're going to keep those promises. Does anybody in the audience have any questions? And like I said, I have teachers here that call me often about these kind of things. I can for you, and in case you don't understand the line, shoot me an email, give me a call. I'll be more than helpful to give you all the details. This is not easy stuff to understand sometimes. Because the bottom line is we're excited to present on March 4th some changes that are going to happen in Springfield. Some changes that are good.
That's good
Like
news,
I
Phil.
said, it's been a long time since we've been there.
That's good news, Phil.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Adams. All right.
Thanks,
It is recommended that the board approve the 5-year forecast.
I'll second.
It's been moved and seconded that the board approve the 5-year forecast. Mr. Adams? Oh. And we also approve buying him new readers.
What's that?
I said we also approve buying you new readers. Oh, you're not going to your readers.
These are readers. Was all I can see. We have a motion?
Yes.
Who? Okay.
Miranda.
Second?
Me.
Dave? Okay. Thank you for that. Mrs. Frola?
Yes.
Ms. Terry?
Yes.
Mr. Hofer?
Yes.
Mr. Furlong?
Yes.
Mr. Mason?
Yes.
Thank you.
Motion passed. Number 17, approve a resolution authorizing the filing of an original complaint against the valuation of real property pursuant to Ohio Revised Code Section 5715.19, and this has been posted with the agenda. Let's do this one.
I'll talk about it after we get the motion in a second.
Okay.
So moved.
Second.
Moving forward, anytime either a commercial or residential property owner challenges the valuation, there has been new rules that has made it a lot more difficult for school districts to fight it. And one of the rules is you have to be proactive with a resolution. Now, this is a commercial property. We typically do not challenge residential properties. They're our taxpayers. I mean, unless, here's a big qualifier, unless the house is a $250,000 house and the owner wants it reduced to, say, 100, and I've seen it. I typically tell people, when you challenge your property, your home, I always tell my friends and family and neighbors, be careful. Because what that entails is you have somebody from the Summit County Fiscal Office comes out and goes through your home. And which means that anything you've done since you purchased that home, that's not on the tax duplicate, like a deck, new shed, a new basement, whatever, will get calculated in their new formulas. And we all know what's happened to our values. And but this has to do with the commercial property. This is a property that they want $1 million reduction in the valuation, okay? After a valid sale, an arm's length sale, meaning you have a buyer and a seller that agree upon a price. They call that arm's length. And once that occurs, whatever that price, that sale price is, that's the price that we want to collect the taxes on. That's fair, right? Just like if you sold your house. The person that bought your house is going to pay taxes on the sale price of your house. No different here. So that's all it is. So in the future, you might see these resolutions pop up here and there. Because again, we have to protect our money. That's all. Thanks. Mrs. Frola?
Yes.
Ms. Terry? Yes. Mr. Hofer?
Yes.
Mr. Mason?
Yes.
Mr. Furlong?
Yes.
Motion passed. To number 18, fund transfers. It is recommended that the board approve the following transfers to and from the general fund for the listed inactive funds. And again, those are exhibits, and you'll explain after you get a motion?
Correct.
All right.
So moved.
Second.
Been moved in second. Mr. Adams?
Sure. As we all know, we're in the Oversight Commission, and one of the things to get out of fiscal oversight is they want all of the old grant funds, miscellaneous funds, they want them down to zero. Because they want to make sure that there isn't anything out there that might negatively impact our general fund. Grant funds aren't on the 5-year forecast, okay? The permanent improvement fund is not on the 5-year forecast. Most debt retirement, like for the building, for the 712 building, aren't on the 5-year forecast. But they just want to be sure that when we present this new financial recovery plan, that there's no surprises. So this is just one of the areas that we're working on, because obviously the goal is to get out from oversight. And it's going to happen. And the reason why is COVID. ESSER funds, right? Well, a lot of districts are starting to march toward that cliff, and they want us out, and they're helping us, and that's a good thing. We don't want to be in. So, that's what they are. Mr. Mason?
Yes.
Mr. Furlong?
Yes.
Mr. Hofer?
Yes.
Ms. Terry?
Yes.
Mrs. Frola?
Yes. Motion passed. Next, excuse me, memorandum of understanding with OPSI regarding the work calendar. It is recommended that the board approve a memorandum of understanding with OPSI 179 regarding the work calendars for 2023 and 24-25, and those were Exhibit 11 on our agenda. Motion?
I'll make a motion.
Second.
It's been moved in second that the memorandum of understanding be approved. Mr. Adams?
Mr. Mason?
Yes.
Ms. Terry?
Yes.
Mrs. Frola?
Yes.
Mr. Hofer?
Yes.
Mr. Furlong?
Yes.
Motion has passed. Number 20, overnight extended trip. The 7th and 8th grade, it is recommended that the board approve an overnight/extended trip for the 7th and 8th grade students and chaperones who travel to Washington, D.C. from April 3rd through April 5th. 3 school days will be missed. All expenses will be paid by the participants and through fundraising.
Motion.
And the outline of the trip was attached as to our agenda.
Motion.
Second.
Been, Mr. Adams moved and approved, to vote.
Mr. Hofer?
Yes.
Ms. Terry?
Yes.
Mr. Furlong?
Yes.
Mrs. Frola?
Yes,
Mr. Mason?
Yes.
Have fun.
motion passed. All right, item 21 is policy approval, and these are policy updates, changes, or new, right? They're either revised or new policies that the board has had for 2 months, and they are listed by name on the agenda, but I'm not going to read every name because it is quite long. So these are, we're asking that we have approval of those policies.
Second reading.
Do we have
Second reading.
to vote on it?
This is the second
Yeah,
reading.
it's not on there.
Okay,
So,
need a motion then.
that's all right,
Second.
we still have to have a motion, it's not on there.
So moved.
Okay.
Second.
That's because this is the second reading. So the first reading, you just read them. The second reading is when you vote
You
on it.
vote, correct.
It's been moved and second that we approve the policies which are listed on our agenda, and Mr. Adams?
Mr. Hofer?
Yes.
Ms. Terry? Yes. Mr. Mason?
Yes.
Mrs. Frola?
Yes.
Mr. Furlong?
Yes.
Motion passed. You want to do the donation? Okay. Number 22, it is recommended that the board accept the following donations. 22.1, Summit County Retired Teachers Association has given 2 grants of $300 each for a total of $600 from the Summit County Retired Teachers Association to Amy Owens Hartman and Tina Hartong. 22.2 Staples, donation of school supplies valued at approximately $150 from the Staples on Arlington Road to Springfield local schools. 22.3 Springfield Township Women's Club has made a donation of $479.94 to Springfield Junior High and High School to purchase solar eclipse glasses for science students grades 7 through 12. Motion?
I'll second.
So, always, getting the donations is wonderful. Tina, what was your donation on?
A reading lounge in my classroom called the Lit Lounge.
Nice, nice. Staples, what did we get from Staples?
Staples provided us with boxes full of school supplies. They had pencils, Sharpie markers, erasers, glue, sticks in it. And we got, I think, about 15 or 20 boxes, and then we sent those up to the high school to be handed out for students in need.
Okay. And Michelle, do you want to talk a little bit about your glasses?
So the solar eclipse is coming, and we are in the process of planning to educate our students on trying to do a common lesson plan for all of our science students. And it's always good if you can hand the kids something tangible. So I wanted to try to give every student in our building, especially science students, a pair of glasses. And Chad is teaching an astronomy class. So he did a Donor's Choose program, got a little bit more than glasses. He got some books and stuff to talk to his astronomy kids with it, about it. And then our kids pay science fee, and I'm comfortable taking it out of the science fee, but I also know that we have a pretty big population that's on fee waivers. And so I went to the Women's Club asking to get a partial donation for the cost that we paid, and they were kind enough to give us all of it. So it's not going to hurt our science budget or our science labs that we do. And we're going to send the kids home with a pair of glasses, and hopefully on that Monday, they will remember and they will go outside
And use them.
And hear us science teachers in their ears saying, this is what you need to be doing. So, hopefully it works.
Thank you.
That's an awesome idea. Does anybody know how long in this area that the eclipse is supposed to last?
3 minutes.
What?
Yeah.
How long?
3 minutes?
How long the eclipse is supposed to last?
I have a chart in my office.
Just minutes.
Yeah.
3 minutes,
Yeah, the
yeah.
closer you get to the center line, I've seen 3 minutes and 50 seconds, so.
If you got an Airbnb, you can rent it for like $40,000 a night.
And you're working on finding out.
Oh, I'll go live with my son, I'll rent my house out.
And just so you know,
Okay.
I've heard that if you're gonna get gas and water, do it a couple days before the eclipse, because they said everything's gonna run out here. So they said, get your gas, get your water, go get your groceries, because it's gonna be crazy.
They said prepare like it's a major snowstorm.
Yeah, prepare like it's a
Oh,
major
yeah.
snowstorm.
Hopefully it's not cloudy, yeah.
Not that, hopefully it's not cloudy, but with the amount of people that are coming here, they're saying that it's going to be crazy. So. Get your gas.
Thank you for doing that.
Do we have a,
Yeah, we had a motion.
Okay.
We got a vote.
Thank you.
Mr. Mason,
Yes.
Mr. Furlong,
Yes.
Mr. Hofer,
Yes.
Mrs. Frola,
yes,
Ms. Terry.
Yes.
You skipped it.
motion passed, but they just used them. All right, Mr. Adams, treasurer's report. You have more or no? You're done?
They've heard enough of me.
Okay. Central office report.
For my portion of the report this evening, I just want to mention that this February is Love the Bus Month to celebrate our bus drivers. You do a wonderful job day in and day out getting our kids to and from school. You know, we acknowledge the fact that unfortunately we have to send out those messages where there's cancellations or delays with that. I mean, we are still, you know, schools nationwide are still facing staffing shortages, but I think everyone would be amazed to listen to the radio one afternoon and hear the bus drivers jump in and help each other when a bus is running behind. You know, how can I help? I just dropped off my last student. Let me jump in and meet you someplace and help you get the kids home sooner. So, I mean, that's always heartwarming to hear every afternoon, to see that cooperation and just desire to serve the students there, and how above and beyond they go on a daily basis to get that done despite the staffing constraints that we face every day. So just like to give them a shout out and acknowledge the work they do every day, but this February was designated as a time to do that.
On Friday, when staff and students didn't have school, the administrators came in and we had school. We spent the morning learning about safety updates that have occurred in our buildings in order to help make our students safer. And we also spent the morning learning about AI and how AI could help us be more productive and using our time a little more wisely and providing us with the opportunities in order to expand our knowledge on something like that. And all of our administrative team got certified on level 1 AI for a school, something called Magic School, which is an AI program which is up and coming at this point in time.
Well, Mr. Furlong sort of took my
Sorry.
thunder, but we are very
saw the look on your
fortunate
face.
that we have the cheerleading Sparkle team for some of our students that have disabilities in our district, and that's a very unique program. And I know for years schools have tried to copy what Springfield offers, and by getting onto the Sparkle organization or creating their own special needs cheer teams. So it's a huge deal. It will be on Saturday at 1 o'clock. Doors open at 12, and it's a big fundraiser for them with selling baskets and just celebrating inclusivity and our students getting a chance to shine, and students from other areas of Ohio getting a chance to shine. So please come.
You said it much more eloquently.
You did. Thanks, Don.
No, it's we need to talk to. That was two things I was going to talk about. That's fine. This month is an unusual month because it's a month where winter sports are starting to come to an end and spring sports are just starting. So first, we have congratulations to our girls bowling team for taking second in the D1 sectional tournament and advancing to districts, which is going to be Monday, February 26th. And our boys bowling, who took second for D2 district sectionals, who will be moving on to districts on February 23rd. In wrestling, we had the MAC Wrestling Championship, and we had 5 students place in our weight classes. We had 113 Trevor Alford for second, 120 Dominic Damascus for second, 132 sophomore Omar Leon, first place MAC champ, back-to-back. He took it last year, so 2 years in a row. 190 junior Gavin Hurden, fourth place, and 215 Junior Keith Broccoli for second. Also, congratulations to our cheer squad who made it to states. They will be headed next week in Big Walnut High School. And we had Lily Boone was runner-up for the tumble-off, and Lily and Carolyn Smith were both finalists in the jump-off. And our own coach, Patrick Janoski, and Coach Aaron Skeggs participated in the cheer dad jump-off, and Coach Skeggs placed third.
Wow.
I don't think we have a video of that.
There is a video out.
Okay, so there is a video of that.
Is
So-
it on YouTube?
It was impressive.
Is it on YouTube?
We can get it on YouTube.
All right.
So I think we would love to see Coach Skeggs do that. And I would also like to give a shout out to Uncle Tito's. He hosted the hospitality room for our middle school Spartan Invitational, which was on February 10th. And everybody who ever comes to any of the invitationals that we host here at Springfield are just amazed with how well they are run and the hospitality that we offer. So kudos to Kevin Vaughn and his team for doing an amazing job. So thank you on that. And I'm going to just go a little bit with the buses. I would also like to thank our families for their patience and understanding when we have to make those last minute phone calls to change the bus routes. And, you know, we know that, that sometimes that can be an inconvenience, but please note that, you know, we try everything we can before we have to cancel a route. And like Dustin said, our bus drivers do an amazing job to jump in and help each other so we don't have to cancel. So if anybody out there has or would like to become a bus driver, please call us. We will train you and give you a bus.
I'm working on it.
I know you're working on it. And what? To keep. You can take the bus home with you to keep.
Gas in it,
Yeah,
oil it.
you can drive it down to Columbus and do whatever you want with it. Go through the McDonald's drive-through. But we do need bus drivers. So if you know anybody out there that would like to, it is a very rewarding job. So please send them our way.
To add in on that, one of the first things I learned, and I was a bus driver before I became a board member, and I'm working for recertification. One of the most important things that they taught us when we had our meetings once a year was the school bus is the first notification that student sees in the morning, and greeted hopefully by a smiling bus driver. Also, conversely, at the end of the day, after everything has happened in the classroom and in the teaching, the bus driver, as they exit the bus, have a good night, see you tomorrow morning, sends that kid off on a nice note at the end of the day. And that kid could have had a bad day at the end of the day. It's one of the most important things they've taught us as being a school bus driver. Good morning, how are you? And have a good night.
Yeah, it is. It's a very important job. So we'll take, not anybody, but anybody that can drive. Pass on CDL.
Remember, you get a bus.
And you get a bus. Big yellow one.
I hate the bus.
No, I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. If I didn't
van,
snow,
the
I
bus.
would mind.
I'm sorry. Items worthy of your note. On February 29th, the high school, junior high conferences will happen between 3 and 7 p.m. On March 4th, Finance Committee meeting at 6 o'clock at this location, Springfield Administration. March 14, Spring Hill Elementary Conferences, 3:30 to 7:30, and those will be at Spring Hill. March 15th is the end of the third quarter. That's a mistake. It can't be that late.
I'm telling you.
No, it's not really a mistake. March 19, next regular board meeting, 6 o'clock.
Cynthia,
here.
that's been changed to the 12th.
What?
That was changed to the 12th couple months ago. So it's the
The
12th.
19th.
Correct.
I'll change mine. Okay.
March 12th?
Yes.
Oh, I remember now.
Yeah, that's right. I do
didn't type
remember
this.
doing that.
All right, now, March 25th. We didn't change this, did we? Spring vacation.
Yes, we did. Yes, we did. It's changed. It's March 22nd.
Okay.
So March
That's what I said.
22nd is going to be the start of spring, so it's that Friday.
We didn't change it.
Yes, we did change that.
All right, March 22nd.
Yes.
And people out there listening, yes, we know what we're doing.
We do know what we're doing.
And on April 2nd, are we changing that?
No, we're good there. We're good there.
Classes resume.
Yes.
But you do get your lunar eclipse, you get your eclipse day off.
Yes.
Yes, oh, and I guess that should be on there too. April 8th is, no school for Eclipse Day.
Please wear your glasses.
Please wear your glasses.
Yeah, the eye doctors are all booked. A motion, or no?
We don't need a
never
motion on
mind. I don't know what I'm doing.
No, it's okay.
All right, at this point, number 27, citizens' comments. Participants are invited to, that wish to make citizens' comments, please give your name, address, and speak within the 5-minute period. Are there any citizens' comments?
Be very short.
That's okay, you have 5 minutes.
Melanie Smethers, 339 Stoll Avenue, Avenue, Akron, Ohio, 44312. We have a very experienced staff, massively experienced staff. So when somebody moves on, retires or resigns, they brought a lot to us, and then when they leave us with a lot, they take a lot away. Mike Leonhardt was my first student teacher, and he was so good I thought I can't ever have another student teacher after this. I did have 6 more, but he was such a good teacher. He did home instruction. He was a soccer coach. He and I worked together to build rubrics that would align to our students' needs. He would come to me, and we would have conferences often about students because Mike really cared a lot. And I hope the best for Mike. He had an excellent team he worked with. We will miss him very much. The other one, Shelley Simbor worked with Craig Cochran in the ED room as an aide, and Craig retired, and Mrs. Smothers got put into ED for the first time in her life and had 3 crazy months until I finally said, Shelley, just teach me what to do. And within 24 hours, she had taught me how to turn it around completely, and she was the aide. And the rest of the year was great. So blessings to both of them for whatever they do, and Mike, if you ever want to come back, do that. But I just want to say, you can't imagine, well, maybe you can, with the experience that walks in the doors of our school every day, what teachers, the aides, the staff, our administration, our board. This is such a good school, and I'm proud to be a part of it, and I'm going to miss Shelley and Mike.
Thank you very much. That was very kind of you to recognize the people that I know, the individual buildings will recognize, the 2 staff members, but I think it's good too. Thank you. Okay, at this point, are any other citizens' comments? All right, at this point, I think we're done. It is recommended that the meeting be adjourned at this time.
Motion.
Second.
Moved in second, Mr. Adams?
Mr. Frola.
Yes.
Ms. Terry.
Yes.
Mr. Hofer.
Yes.
Mr. Furlong.
Yes.
Mr. Mason.
Yes.
Meeting adjourned. Thank you. Thank you very much for everyone for attending. Good meeting.